All right, ladies and gentle fellas, book readers alike, let us discuss this book right here. This book right here, nigga. This book right here, nigga. It's mine. And it means something to me. It's mine. And it means something. I hate when people put the S at the end of mine. My God. Okay, anyway, let us discuss Fool's End. Yes, we in my little ghetto recording closet or whatever. Okay. Fool's End is the first book in my romance series titled A Lesson in Forever. And basically, book one has a layer of suspense because the primary character, Leilani Granda, wakes from her near-death experience. And the harsh truth of it all is, it is the exact same way in which she almost died 24 years prior. Okay, anyway, yeah, so fun fact about my cover real quick. So I make my cover human-made, no AI nonsense. So as you can see, you probably recognize my hands. If you know my hands, it was actually, my hand was like, I was like pushing my hair back. So it was like this. So I had cropped and cut it. And then that's a picture of my head. Okay. Whoo, chop. So let's get into how I did the hair. So it is so dusty in my house. I don't know what's going on. Okay. So with a little bit of zhuzhing from Procreate, and some cutting and pasting in Canva of another picture of me. That's actually not my ear, but I'm about to explain this whole thing. Okay, it was a picture of me that I had a blonde wig on. Maybe I can insert the screenshot of a screenshot because I don't have it anymore. I actually wanted to explain how my how I did the cover. Like, I had started this whole series last year when my book first came out, and at some point in the time frame where I was being very sad about people not supporting me, something happened. I clicked something on my hard drive and I wiped out so much of my stuff. Like my book 3, the whole thing's gone. Book 2, it was gone up until like a third of the way through. I had like the first few chapters still. Anyway, so I didn't get to put up the rest of my content. I did find a couple of the clips of the audio that I wanted to share because it was so crazy going through and recording my audio last year. Okay, so I took two pictures of me. This one I had on like this little purple suit. The post is on my social medias. And then this one, it was like a private personal video that I didn't put up. So I had this platinum blonde wig. I had actually, the day after I took those pictures, I had like cut bangs into it. I had cut it like into like short layers. It was real cute. But so I used Procreate because in the book I describe like the edges of the hair getting like super matted. And I'm a fine hair girly, so I can put my hair in just like a ponytail or 2 braids underneath a wig and it'd be fine. So I actually had my character wearing her hair like that, but I had the wig kind of, because she's wearing a wig. She wore a wig to the Forever Young party. And so I had her, I had the wig, you know how like when you get like those cheap synthetic wigs, they have, I wonder if I have one in here. The cheap synthetic wigs have like the kind of, I thought that my costume bag was in here, but the cheap synthetic wigs have those oh, I think, okay, yeah, too much what was I saying? Oh, so cheap synthetic wigs have like those little things underneath. So what I did was I had it so you can see her hair through it, and then you know like the tracks are sticking to like those little, not wig caps, but like partial wig cap kind of things. So anyway, so I used the little pencil in Procreate to just kind of make those look more wormy, I guess, so that they looked, I was trying to keep the hair from looking too clean and neat because that's what it was, but baby girl was floating in the water for hours. Yeah, so so it was actually just like a really long straight wig. So what I did was I took the ends. That's why so many of them actually look the exact same. I just tried to like make them not look the same. And if you look real close, you can see where some of them are pasted. Let me see if I can. You can see some of the paste marks because I couldn't get them to be completely smooth. Where like they're like, I had to keep copying and pasting. So I copied and pasted the in, and then I would like twist them, move them, like turn them, distort them, like faded some of them in, turn some of the transparencies up. Like I wanted it to look, that's why the ponytail looks so freaking stupid right here, because that's like a cut and clipped piece right here too. Because I had my hair in 2 pigtails for the pictures, but I needed it to be 1 ponytail. It's like long, straight 2 pigtail. I might have a picture of me as Dexter and Dee Dee, because I wore the hair the same way, but it was like a grown-up Dexter and Dee Dee kind of situation with like the little Fashion Nova costumes. Anyway, yeah, so that's how I made my cover. I cut and paste and put pictures of myself together. So the ear, I took someone else's ear, because my ear, I actually didn't know if I wanted my character to have daith rings or not. I actually, when I put this book out, not even gonna hold you, the only thing that I knew that I was gonna have described as my female main characters in book 1 was that they were tall, that they had coils, and that they were my color or darker, like brown skin or darker. And I hadn't decided what I wanted them to look like yet. I didn't decide what I wanted them to look like until literally this book was coming out already. So, and because in book 2, I allow one of the male characters to describe her, because, you know, he loves her. Because of that, that's when you like learn what she looks like. And she's me with green eyes. But, so the ear is not my ear. I used someone else's ear. I don't even know if it was like, it was an ear that I got from someone. One of those people who do the stamps for Procreate. Somebody had ears, and I used that and added some extra shadows, stamped it on there. And I was using Procreate Pocket on my phone when I first started drawing my character art and stuff too. So that was kind of fun for me. Anyway. So that's how I made my cover. Just cut, copy, paste it. Like, it's not hard to make a cover. And I don't know if my cover is off-putting for people because she has white hair, or because they think that it's going to be like fantasy when they're looking for romance. My book is, this is a love story. Book 1 does have that element of suspense, like I stated previously, but it's a love story. And so that's how I got my cover. Hopefully somewhere in here I was able to paste everything to show my evidence, but again, I lost my video footage. I did post in a previous video what I was originally going to make the cover be. I was about to grab it again, but I already posted it, and if you didn't see it, go to the video of me that says I'm wearing purple. I'll screenshot it, because honestly I don't want to pull it back off the wall. Yes, it's on the wall outside of my recording studio, just to remind me of where I started, and then this is where I ended up. Okay, so this book is available in all formats. I actually came in here to record a completely different video, but decided to start talking about my cover. Available in all formats. I did record my own audiobook. I feel like I should do a video on why I chose to record my own audiobook, because I'm actually starting full-on audiobook recordings for book 2 this week, like no breaks. Like, I'm knocking it out. I have hours scheduled for myself to get that done. I don't know if you can hear like the slight crackle in my voice, which is actually very, very ironic, seeing as my main female character is so obsessed with the crackle in the man's voice that like she mentions it like incessantly. Okay, book 1 available everywhere. Book 2 comes out next month. I'm so excited. I don't have a physical version of that book yet. I should have it next week. I think next week, whatever. They don't ever come here fast enough for me. But I should have my book soon, and I'm very excited about it, because I mean, like, who wouldn't be? I'm real freaking proud of myself for this. So again, book 1 has the element of suspense going on in there. It's a whodunit. She woke up from almost dying the same way that she almost died the first time, and it was just, she's reconnecting with her first love. And in that reconnection, she doesn't know how she feels, because she left him for no reason. Like, she quite literally broke up with this man because she doesn't believe in forever, and she was like afraid of commitment, and she just felt like she was suffocating, because she's like, oh my God, like, we're getting too close. Like, things are just too, they're just too. So she left him. And so this book begins with her waking up from the party in which they were united at physically, because they have been rekindling like just like a bond for a little over a year by the time they see each other again at a reunion party from their high school. I actually created an entire program that I wanted to be like the forefront of my story, but I decided that while writing book 2, I was like, this gets so much deeper into the romance that I decided to pull that part out. So it will be a novella. I'll probably put it out like around Christmas time, just because I think that I want it to come out around the time that it takes place, because I'm going to have it snow in Georgia. I'm going to have it be real dramatic and real ridiculous, and because this story begins at that time, which is in December. But a lot of book 2 actually takes place in the summertime, just because a lot of flashbacks happen throughout this series. So in this book, you get to see, I don't want to spoil anything. Okay, so you learn about the first time that she almost died. Then you learn about their breakup and how he dealt with their breakup. You don't really learn about how she dealt with breaking up with him and just like the emotions that she went through in book 1. You do get that in book 2. You learn about the day that they met in high school. First day of sophomore year. You actually go back to the first day of sophomore year a couple of times in this book, because there are actually 4 main characters in this series, and there are 2 couples. So the girls are sisters and they look like twins, i.e. like me, i.e. they look like me. And then the boys are actually cousins. They're maternal cousins too. So it's a little close, but yeah. And so you go back to the first day of high school multiple times, because while Leilani is explaining her feelings and going through like her emotions, because right now she doesn't trust anybody. She woke up from almost dying and she was with the boy, his name's Relan, her sister, who is Lanela, and then Kieran, who is her best friend, and Lanela's man, and Relan's cousin. So the 4 of them went to the party together, and she woke up by herself. So she's like, so right now she's trying to figure out what's going on, and every time she mentions like, hey, guys, I died last night. Like, I woke up from my death last night. They're all just like, girl, stop being dramatic. But and this one is single POV, okay? This one is all, Leilani is the only narrator for this book. And I did it this way intentionally because I think that single POV in general makes for an unreliable narrator. I think that when it's just one person's mind that you're in, you're only getting the way that they perceive things. And so that's why I did this book this way. So book 2, you get a different point of view added into the story. You actually get more than one point of view added into the story. You technically get more than one point of view in here. There is one random part in the middle of a chapter of her sister narrating, and then the epilogue and prologue are the same person narrating. That is not Leilani. So you technically get other people's points of view, but you don't get their point of view of the present moment, except the sister in the chapter that's in. I'll just tell you guys now, that chapter is called Put a Ring on It. So you do get her sister narrating that chapter. Not the whole chapter, just like a section of the chapter. Just because I felt like it would be better for the sister to narrate that part, because I didn't want to put that part into a different book and make it, certain things I want other people's points of view on, and that was one of the things that I wanted the sister's point of view on. So book 2 adds in book 1, single POV, unreliable narrator, and like every single thing that you get in this book that seems like it's like a point of confusion during the party breakdown. You guys know how you watch those shows where it's like, and at 10:48 p.m. suspect walks in at 11:03 a.m. blah blah blah. Like, I have it like that. It's broken down like that from different points of the party, and then I have it like broken down like that, and then I have 3 of them going through their point of view, because I have them explain what's happening during the party, but they're watching video. I don't know how to explain it where it makes sense to explain it, because it sounds difficult, but it's not. It's real simple. It's labeled, it's timed, but in between the times, because they're watching the video footage from the party. Nobody knew that there was video footage of the party until after the party. I mean, after this book ends and you find out who done it. You do find out who done it in book 1. And when you find out who done it, you're like, oh. And also, big thing for me, prologues and epilogues are mandatory in my story. Like, I know people skip those. Cuckoo brains, I guess. I don't know. That is crazy to me, to skip a prologue and epilogue. I understand like skipping the epilogues that are like jumping 5 years in the future, but how do you know if you just automatically skip them? Because mine, they're not like that. Like, the beginning of this one, the prologue of this book, actually, that is not a true statement that I just made. The prologue of this book actually takes place summer 2000. And the epilogue also starts summer 2000. But it's because that is the first time Leilani nearly died in the exact same way. So it's part of the story. And halfway through the book, there is another portion that's not necessarily chapter 11. It's called, oh, no, thank you. But that chapter, it's a nightmare. I can tell y'all that. That's fine. She's having a nightmare about the first time she almost died, which when you read the prologue and then you get to that halfway point, like when you're at chapter 11, you're like, oh, this is what was happening. And then when you get to the end, it's like, oh, this is what was happening. And so, I don't know. I think that I did such a cool thing writing my book the way that I wrote it. And I need people to read my book and just like it, because I think that I chose to tell this story in such a cool way. Like, the flashbacks add depth to the relationships in book 1, and with all of her anxiety and her confusion, you're going to get a lot of, I took a deep breath, I closed my eyes, like, it made me think about this, or like, I'm focusing on my breathing. You're getting a lot of that. The girlie is anxious. She almost died, and everybody's acting like nothing happened, and she woke up by herself, and she's like, hey, you guys want me to pretend nothing happened, but hello? I almost died, and none of you are taking me seriously. But you find out why it seems like nobody is taking her seriously in book 2, which comes out again next month. I have been yapping for so long. I will clip this up for certain platforms, just because I feel like I need to share certain parts of this story. And obviously I'll put the full thing on YouTube, but I want people to appreciate this. Also, I wrote a song called Fool's End. I wrote it as Leilani, but for Leilani, I don't know how to say that, for my books. And she mentions that in this book you find out that music is one of her passions, but it's like a private passion. It's something she keeps to herself. And then in book 2, she does like casually mention to Reelan, like, oh, I wrote you a million songs, and he's like, let me hear. She's like, are you on crack? Because like, it's something she keeps to herself. But you do get more of her and him. Like, you get so much more of their love story. It's actually very freaking cute. Book 2 has way more flashbacks than book 1 does, obviously, because book 1 has that suspense element where you're in the moment, and Leilani is really just stressed because she's like, I don't trust this man. I still love him, and I hate that for me. I don't trust my sister. Like, I love her, but I don't know why she's being weird. I don't trust Kieran, because like, why are you being different? Like, how come nobody's listening to me? I almost died. So then when you find out who done it, and then you get to book 2, and it's just like, oh, this is why everybody was so confused. It's just so good. So yeah, read Fool's End, listen to the single. I did film a music video to the single Fool's End. I filmed it as Leilani, obviously, because that's who I wrote it for. She actually has an entire EP. The stress that I went through, recording that song, putting the song up, taking the song down, putting the song up, just because I recorded it to sound like I was like stressed the hell out as her, but I didn't like how it sounded. I put it back up. It just is what it is. I lost my voice in illness years ago. I just have to accept that, and hopefully other people just, it's some tone deaf people out here on sold out tours consistently, so whatever. I'll get better. But my writing, top tier. In book 1, I did take out a lot of things that I felt I shouldn't have because I had a fear of being perceived wrong, or for people not understanding, or for people being like, I don't get it. In book 2, I left mostly everything. The only stuff I took out is stuff that I took out to put into book 3 or 4 to expand on further. But I let them talk how they talk. I let them, however they came out on the page is how they came out on the page. Also, book 1 has no spice. Book 2 gets spicy. It got spicy kind of soon too, like, and by soon I mean like around like page 100. I don't even know where it is exactly. I didn't want there to be spice until book 3, to be honest, but my characters were in my head and one of them was being fast. So yeah, I hope you guys watched this and that somebody cares enough to read my book, baby. Oh yeah, book 1's available in all formats. Okay, if you can hear how I speak, you can hear my lisp now that I mention it. I said I have a lisp. Now you hear it every time I say something with an S or like a T. I did record my audio. I will do an in-depth video about that. It's just something that I don't really like speaking over myself that way. And the reasons why I have to do certain things a specific way. Like, I'm a one-woman show, but I have to be mindful of how I say it. And whenever I speak about my audio, I kind of speak about it in present terms because it is a present thing. But I think that it's keeping it over me, which is why my voice has like this slight like scratch, and it often hurts like when I'm speaking, which is why my song sounds like it does, which is, so there is a disclaimer at the beginning of my audio. If you have misophonia or anything like that, where you don't do well with sounds, I know everyone pronounces words differently. That's how I say that one. I'm sensitive to sound, so I hear my own voice and it drives me up the wall, which is why a lot of my videos are edited. I will fast forward to a section to make sure that my name is right, like, or I will scroll through the little caption things to make sure it's spelled right, and I will leave everything else because I can't stand the sound of my voice. But I did record my audios, audio. Second one will be finished recording this week. I'm locking in. But yeah, I hope people can appreciate me as an author. I think that I'm marketing my books in a way that people don't like often. I mean, I've actually never seen people write music as their characters before. I've never seen people do music videos as their characters before. I have my characters. See my voice, my throat, everything's just crazy. I gotta stop soon. When I talk too long, my characters actually have a social media page. I just haven't started posting on it yet. But the girls, the sisters, Leilani and Lanayla, I'm gonna actually like let Lanayla be like a social media influencer and like create. I shouldn't even put this part on here because I feel like somebody's gonna steal my idea. But like there's a recipe. There's 2 recipes in this book. In book 2, I think. In book 1, I didn't put much of anything. I pulled so much of myself back with my debut. I'm just not doing that anymore because nobody gave a shit about my book in the first place. All right, I've been yapping way too long. My voice is tired. By Fool's End, it is available in all formats. It is also available with Kindle Unlimited. It is exclusive for ebook on Kindle Unlimited. It's available in paperback and hardback and audio. So yeah, support me and my author journey for good, healthy, clear skin. And I don't know, I wish you endless orgasms and happiness. Okay, love you, bye.